Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're looking at See No Evil. According to Steam, this is a game from 2014, and weirdly, it's mixed reviewed at this point, so it must have either been something that caught my eye or something that was received better earlier in its lifespan. It is an isometric puzzle game. There's not a lot going on as far as the menus and settings, but part of the puzzle is the audio, so I'm going to try and experiment here by letting the audio just be as loud as my own voice and see how that really works out. The music in the menu itself is not playing for very long before it starts repeating. But yeah, I'm playing with an Xbox controller, so you can see there's a grab and a shout button, and I can't help but suspect from the demo videos and screenshots that it's probably somewhat of a Sokoban box pushing game. And yeah, there's a small number of people that worked on this. This is one of those very small teams, probably indie games. And with any luck, I'll be able to make all the episodes covering this game, however many end up being, without being interrupted. I've taken quite a long, unexpected vacation from recording content in between my last series and this one, and so I wanted to play some games, get back into the habit a little bit. But I am still very much in a weird situation where I'm being interrupted by a lot of non-YouTube stuff quite a bit. So that's more than enough setup. Let's start the game. You'd assume that this is a character that is going to be blind.
Consider this. First and foremost, ignorance is bliss. Wisdom is just getting a grip on a persistent dissatisfaction. Grasping that action towards understanding is hopeless. So keep your eyes closed. It's easier that way. I promise.
I was not expecting that there would actually be any voice acting. But weirdly, I do have to be somewhat critical in that there was no subtitles there. But the whole game is not just going to be in darkness. Dreams, the endless frontier of human potential. We can see a whole bunch of words, all with space set up as a big word, which probably would make more sense if I wasn't playing with a controller. But I assume this is just supposed to organically overwhelm you and say you need space and have you shout and encourage you to press space. Let's hit the A button on the controller and see what happens. Well, that did yell, and that did reveal some eyeballs. And that did it 30 times. So he's got these white glowing eyes, and everywhere he walks, he makes some kind of noise. Echo. Interesting. So, to whom it may concern, did I miss some of this? Now immediately I could see how this might be to the dissatisfied, the black sheep. I could see how this could be way too short of a game just because it's on some kind of gimmick, and variations of a theme as far as a gimmick goes is often where game developers kind of fall and fail. So just walking through a doorway, to those not hostile to forward movement, where do
I
you go?
hear someone outside of their room?
So yeah, this could easily be just like a incredibly short experience of just an hour or two, or it could just be longer and repetitive. So we are set up to this character, and I'm not sure if this character is supposed to be a bad guy or not. Is there some larger gimmick here we're supposed to be doing? Doesn't seem like it. I can hear in my headphones. If you're out there, please pull through. Pretty highly focused audio in its directionality. So that was the first time I had to actually pull a item, and we can see all these clouds, but my screaming is not moving the clouds or clearing air. The world went dark with our eyes.
Where are you wandering, little footsteps?
It is a little weird to have text on screen and voice acting and have them overlap instead of having a much larger separation. So I have to convince these glow bugs to glow to light up an area. Otherwise, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to just walk blindly. Although it doesn't seem like there's likely a huge amount of danger of walking blindly either. Sound owns this world. We must use it. We must scream. Okay. So it's not just a case that there is only one of those characters. They're just going to be a repeated character. I'm not sure what I'm really supposed to be doing there. It does seem like that box blocks audio, so there might be a trick there. These are but pawns and kings. You announce your place with each shout. In a lot of ways, though, this is just your standard Metal Gear Solid style stealth mission with a little bit of box pushing.
Quiet!
You're a ghost to them, Seer. Move with haste. So, the old man in the cane seems to want to avoid you. Chase you. I bet you can't ever come back here. And I guess if I hadn't moved fast enough, I would have been trapped. I don't see a way you really could have worked your way back up. But it is weird that this is the exit. I thought that was the entrance and they were just blocking it. So then the question does come about as to where was the entrance in this platform? Why do all this to escape? To find something more?
I dislike the sounds you're making, little footsteps. You sound like you know where you're going before you go.
Of course, people often use the metaphor of being in the dark or being blind, or being ignorant, or being outside of the realm of understanding. And I would have to assume that this story is going to be about that. I do like the voice acting. Closed eyes exchange purpose for convenience like a door held open. But I could certainly see a percentage of people being upset thinking that this is going to be more of an audio game for people with visual impairment of some level, and it totally, pretty obviously, is not playable on that aspect. So I definitely could see being upset about that. There's a big ear icon, but instead of the ear icon filling up to have him walk back to his path, he has a bar next to that spot. I would say that's probably some bad design. When we get caught now. In fairness to this game, I will say a lot of Sokobound games that I've seen available do feel like they have very little going for them otherwise, so at least this does feel to me like it is doing something. A little bit more imaginative and creative. Struggle here to get the box in the right positions. Music sounds good. But trudge on, Seer, escape your prison and find us on the mountain. So there's some foreshadowing of a mountain. Music sounds good. I would have to assume this has to be a really short game for as much voice acting as we've already heard. Even if it slows down considerably, it still feels like there's going to be a lot here. This is another case where I think we're going to have to sneak by him, and I don't know how we're going to do that. This might be a game that is more concerned around soft materials than it would seem. That standing on that red platform did seem to lower the amount of audio noise that my steps were making. So now I can just wait for this guy to chase me, to walk right past me. Than I think it really should be. What we're not learning here, unfortunately, is the differences of the different colored robed characters. If there is a difference there. We're also seeing that many things here do not actually lead to making noise. Pushing the box doesn't make noise, and standing on a switch, dropping walls. The faces in these blocks, I assume, are each supposed to represent see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So that might mean that there's never going to be more than 3 different colors of these types of switches and walls. This is definitely proving to be more of a puzzle than I thought. You can't walk back up. I guess the move is probably to try and knock this guy back into the middle. Okay, and so we found a way to trap ourselves into this room. And the X button and the Y button doesn't do anything. Right trigger has them yell, left trigger does nothing, right bump, left bump. D-pad just made you up. Clicking right stick, left stick does nothing. So let's restart the level. From the pause menu. guess this has something to do with putting a box on any switch. So, is this more of a concept where you're supposed to just do something like that? Doesn't last. So if this was going to work, I need to probably block down that. Very quickly, this game has just become really Pokemon puzzles. It's very close. This is really kind of nothing. A friend once told me the world seems darker with
You've
your
opened
eyes open.
them, haven't you? Your eyes. You know, you can just shut them.
So, are we done with the game here? Are we done with the first the 3-act shorter game? Are we halfway through? Or is there a lot more? Let's see where
Consider
this goes.
this. You were once safe inside your structured home. A place constructed for the instructed, the instructions set in stone. It was not confining, it was uniting. You're now completely alone. Consider this. Ignorance was bliss.
So, freedom, a beautiful melody. Okay. So we've already had a full palette swap, or tile set swap. We are now seeing new kinds of things to interact with, including this flower. And we clearly are going to have some more game here. Alright, well, that presents a perfect opportunity to end this episode. And we'll see how much farther this goes. I wouldn't be surprised if this game really is only about an hour and a half. I wouldn't be surprised if, since this was a game released in 2014, there wasn't that 2 hours, no questions asked refund policy in place. And so they may not have really tried to stretch the game to be at least 2 hours. But yeah, if we are seeing completely different tile sets after 25 minutes of gameplay, then I wouldn't expect too much more from the game. Anyways, we'll see how long this goes. It could prove me wrong. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.